A hippy-crite. It's a term I came up with to describe people who call themselves activists, but clearly only to a point that suits their level of comfort. Take, for example, the Occupy Wall Street people. People have been protesting the so-called 1%, the haves, the people who own everything, speaking for the rest of us, the so-called 99%, the have-nots. Now, it's nice that these people have given up their previous movement, Occupy Their Parents' Couch, but they don't speak for me, and I don't believe they speak for most North Americans. I've said this before, protest is masturbation. You only do it because it makes you feel good, but just like jerking the gherkin, it accomplishes nothing more than that. And this Occupy Wall Street nonsense is no exception. If you're out protesting the banks, corporations, and the 1% in general, you're no doubt a hypocrite. Ask yourself these questions. Do you own a mobile phone? Do you have the internet at home? Do you have a TV and cable at home? Do you have a credit card? Have you purchased anything in the last year? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, you're part of what you perceive to be the problem, not the solution. I look at all these idiots posting on Occupy Wall Street Facebook pages with posted via BlackBerry or iPhone, or even posted via mobile. So in order to have a phone capable of that, you probably paid anywhere from $50 to $400 for the phone, and you continue to spend anywhere from $40 to $100 a month for a cell phone plan with a data add-on. Last I checked, there are no mom and pop phone makers or providers. And what the fuck are you doing on Facebook? You do know that Mark Zuckerberg is a member of the 1% club, right? Second, what is it that you want? Do you feel that these corporations, they should share? That we should all be equal? That's commie talk. So the companies that spent all the money researching and developing the iPhone, the PlayStation, etc., they should give you some of their profits? For what? What did you do to earn it? You sat around and did dick all. You aren't owed a living simply because you exist. That's nonsense. Maybe those of us that do work, we should just pool our paychecks together and split them amongst everyone? Again, commie talk. Start a fucking commune in the middle of nowhere, grow crops and raise animals and live entirely off the grid if that's what you want, but do it far away from me. And yes, I'm well aware of what the banks did, but it's time to take some personal responsibility here. The banks supposedly needed to be bailed out because they gave too many loans to people that couldn't pay them back. The conspiracy theory being that they did this intentionally because they're insured and they would get the money back anyway and then some with the bailout. And maybe that's true, but you have to ask, why couldn't these people pay the loans back? Because they were probably living beyond their means, trying to buy things they couldn't afford in the first place. And why is this protest happening now? The bailout was years ago. Did some fucking hippie awake from a weed-induced sleep see a newspaper from like 3 years ago and say, "Oh, dude, this is bullshit. We gotta stop these guys"? Real swift moving on this one, assholes. Back to the main point, though. It's all half measures and you're all just jerking off. You're not ready to fuck. Get rid of your phones, cancel your internet subscriptions, stop purchasing anything that was made or even touched by a corporation at any point in time, and I might start taking you seriously then. And I don't want to hear any bullshit about ripping the system from within. Is that what you're doing when you're playing Angry Birds on your iPhone or downloading TV shows or movies made by a corporation, using an internet connection provided by a corporation on your computer made of parts manufactured by a corporation? Like I said, hippy-crites.